You are God. This sounds like a weird thing to say, and I'm not especially a religious person myself, if I could even be considered a person by my deepest understanding. I am not, and neither are you. And yet, as human beings, we struggle for meaning and struggle to use the correct words to describe things. For the longest time, I've sensed and known that there is the universe and I am that you are not separate to any of this. There is only this, everything, and you are that. So today, it's an opportunity to meditate and consider the deeper meaning and implications of this realization. So you may wish to join me by closing your eyes. Taking a couple of deep breaths. It was during the opening chapter in one of Adyashanti's books where he states, "You are looking for God through his eyes." For the longest time, you can believe there is this entity or spirit, being, this awareness, consciousness, peace, love, wisdom, or you could refer to it as God. There is this thing. And for the longest time, it's felt that that is separate, that you are here looking for that, seeking that, trying to discover that, attain it, and then somehow embody that. But it's much easier than that. It's much more direct. In fact, it is the kind of inside joke of spirituality. It's laughable, in fact, that you already are what you're looking for. Like there is no separation. Now you can prove this to yourself very simply by investigating where you came from. Now, without going down the road of, are you a person or are you awareness or consciousness? We'll possibly tackle that later. But without going down that road, you can easily ascertain that you came about as a result of a union between two people. And those people were also present in this world. Now, in order for anything to live in this world, what do we need? Well, you need oxygen, you need food, you need water, you need sunlight. Okay, in order for the planet to survive, it needs those things. And in order for you to survive upon this planet, the planet must exist. Right? Without the planet, if the planet Earth was suddenly to disappear very quickly everybody that used to live upon it would perish within a matter of seconds. So there is a symbiotic relationship between everything and everything else. Now, as human beings, we have created this definition of ourselves, historically going back thousands or tens of thousands of years. A person has looked out into the universe with the powers of perception and deemed that there is a separation, that there is the universe out there and there is the me or the person or the I back here, inside here. Now, this invisible line of separation is no more than an idea, just like the idea of a line between Canada and the United States is nothing more than an idea. There isn't a physical line drawn on the contrary. It's literally soil and dirt and rivers. It's merely an idea that has created that line of separation. And beyond the idea, then in this US-Canada example, the idea then laid the foundation for legal systems and then infrastructure and so on. But it all stems from an idea. Before any of the legal implications, before any of the infrastructure was built, before there were different nationalities and different accents and so on, different customs, it was merely an idea. And this separation between you and what you consider yourself to be and the universe is the same. It's merely an idea. Another experiment you can do to demonstrate and prove categorically that you are this, you are the universe, you are this everything, you are spirit or God, if you wish to call it that, is you cannot exist separate to it. It's not even that it's just an idea, it's actually the reality of the situation. Try, if you can, in the next 60 seconds, try to exist, but exist separate to the universe. Try to leave the universe. I mean, the very thought of this is crazy. And yet people exist and think and behave in a way that they feel they are separate to all of this. So we can prove it to ourselves in this simple experiment that it is impossible for you to exist separate to the universe. In order for you to exist, the whole universe must have existed first. The Big Bang must have taken place. The planets must have collided. The stars must have been made. The solar system must have come about with a planet just at the right distance from the sun for the right temperature to create water and life, and for the person, the human being, to exist. So there's no separation. So a very simple experimental and experiential level, we can see that we are not separate to this. We are this. You can also look at meal times. And when you eat, you're merely taking part of the universe and it's being ingested by another part of the universe, which is you. And then it's emitted later on as a universe back into universe. It doesn't leave the universe. Okay, so when you look out onto the stars or the oceans, you are the universe observing itself, or God looking at his own face. So this sense of separation is the cause of all suffering and all complications in the world come about from feeling that you are a separate self, a separate body. trying to operate in this thing we call the world or the universe or life. You versus the world, you versus life. And for many decades of my life, I operated in this way, trying to bend life to my will, trying to make it operate in a way that was satisfactory to me, thinking that somehow I was greater than the planets, that I had more impact than the Big Bang, that I could input more force than gravity on the world. But of course, we quickly discover that's not the case. You can wake up and your roof has blown off your house due to Mother Nature. You can stub your toe in the morning and break off a toenail. You can be in a car crash. You can be stricken with disease and so on. All of it's beyond our control if we take ourselves to be that separate person. But when it's realized that it's just this everything, this awareness which is everywhere and from which everything is created, that is never changing. And again, you might think, well, this is just some spiritual woo-woo statement. But you can investigate this. If you cast your mind back to the awareness you had when you were a child, looking out at a tree or eating a chocolate or going to school, that sharp awareness in which everything occurred and through which everything was observed, the quality of that awareness, has that changed from now until back when you were a child? Has the sense of that awareness, the nature of the awareness, not the experience or the sensations or obviously the intelligence or the interpretations, that's all mind stuff. But prior to mind, before mind, pre-mind, the awareness of something, the knowing of something happening, has the awareness, the screen in which all of this occurs, has the quality of that changed? Just investigate that. Do you find that the awareness that you have now is exactly the same as the awareness when you're a child? Has it degraded at all? Has it aged at all? Not the interpretation, not the thinking, not the thought patterns, not the behaviors, but the mere screen on which everything appears. Has the screen changed? Have the emotions or the experiences changed the screen of awareness? And by asking these questions, you can come to see that awareness is the one thing which has never changed. And if it's never changed, then it's never come into existence or ended existence. Otherwise, it would degrade. Everything degrades. Everything else degrades. Plants grow, wither, and die. Rain clouds gather, appear, fade, and die. Emotions rise up within us. We feel them, they go away. Thoughts rise up. We don't ask for them, we don't control them, they go away. Awareness and the quality of awareness is ever present and always the same, unchanging. And it's for this reason that you are the universe, this consciousness, this awareness, or as some people call it, God.